The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach we go, dear friends. Of course, a new year. We're getting pretty much fairly deep into the new month, and I haven't even advertised, of course, the Power Trading Hour now with 100% more microaggressions for all those folks out there. Anyway, what do we have today? 2262 on the S&P cash. We're off 8.8 points on the S&P cash, which is not enough, but there's something bigger, something more important, and it's the volume. And can we say what the volume is? Class? Yes, it is wimpy. 1.88 billion shares. It is nothing but a breath to the downside. Not a yell, not a scream, merely almost a whisper. Light volume today. And, of course, we got down a little bit farther, but I'm not going to say that there's anything great going on here. If you caught my show Friday, I already said look for a little bit more volatility on Monday and Tuesdays. Options rollover. Normally, I don't put a lot of stock in what happens today and tomorrow. It's Wednesday after options rollover that a lot of these positions come in and out. You actually see the truth of the matter and the truth of the market. And right now, I think we're just waiting time out here, start getting into a little bit more earnings, and that will be it. Anyway, another day to the downside, another day with light volume, and, of course, to the upside, kind of the same thing. Caught John Logan's show this morning. He had a kind of a technical indicator to what I've been saying the last few days already. That was, why did I think the market was going nowhere? Well, he's got the same thing. Everybody's in the middle of the boat. Even a little bit of rocket's not going to get some people to fall off on either side of it, either the bearish or the bullish side. We're going to have some people get onto that side. And my guess is that it will be a run higher. And if you want to be bearish, you want to wait for the breakout, see that there's light volume, and then pull the trigger. You don't want to be anticipating a bearish move in this market right now. It may come, but there's absolutely no evidence for that. And this is normally where we get to start saying things like, you know what? We always like to come to you here at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
That was it? Think? That's all we got was a dink? I'm ordering more. That was very short. Anyway, what else is going on out here? Well, I guess we just get this party started and we'll talk about it later. It says, lost my camera. It's right here as far as I can see. But maybe it's back now again. So what do we have happening out here? Oh, well, we've got history.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Yeah, I know that HotCom has not been very good the last few weeks. It's got a lot of problems. What else is going on? In 1957 on this day, machines at the Wham-O Toy Company roll out the first batch of their aerodynamic plastic discs, now known to millions of fans all over the world, is something called the Frisbee.
You can skip a Frisbee, curve a Frisbee, even boomerang it.
I never thought about boomeranging.
How about that? Frisbee combines the principles of aerodynamics and gyroscopics.
Really?
So, go fly a Frisbee.
Yeah,
It's fun
fly a
for
Frisbee.
everyone of the family. Yes, everyone. Frisbee.
I think Wham-O got bought by Mattel And I think I was looking for some of the ads today, and it looked like the last ad that I find was about 1981. I think they still do things, but it's kind of more social marketing kind of thing. But we shall see. Anyway, what else is going on out here? See if this is, again. Yep. I don't know what's going on. But that should look better for the folks. Anyway, 22.62, let's just call it that, off about 9.5 points. Volume is extremely light, so there's no volume off the top, at least today. And my guess is that we're going to have to go bust out the highs to really get anything moving out here. As always, never short a quiet market, and I think we are quiet indeed. A lot of people got a little excited this morning, thought that the market was going to have the wheels fall off the wagon, but maybe we have a little pullback here. I don't see anything really of evidence, certainly not volume out here. And, of course, what we're really going to get into is earnings. And, did I have that up? There I did. What do we have? Of course, what's today, the 23rd? So we get down to the 23rd. Of course, we had Halliburton before the bell and McDonald's. A little bit of bullishness on McDonald's part I saw earlier today. We'll check that out. Packaging Corporation of America, one of my favorite bellwethers in that if they're doing well, you can think that industry is doing well too. Sanmina after the bell. Tomorrow morning before the bell, AK Steel, Corning, the people that bring you Gorilla Glass for smartphones, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin, Sprint, and Waters Corp. After the bell tomorrow night, Capital One, Cree, Intuitive Surgical, always worth the price of admission to watch that trade after hours. United States Steel and VMware. Before the bell on Wednesday, we have Abbott Laboratories, Boeing, Brinkers International, Cliffs Natural Resources, Baby, which is Natus Medical, St. Jude Medical, Textron, Tupperware, UTX, and after the bell on Wednesday, AT&T, Cirrus Logic, eBay, Las Vegas Sands, PayPal Holdings, Qualcomm, which got hammered today, and United Rentals. We go into Thursday with Alibaba, AutoNation, Baker Hughes, Celgene, Deluxe Corporation, Ford. I said Ford. Ford, we're not Swiss. We're not up there in the fjords. Ford Motor, Harley Davidson, HCA Holdings, Hershey's, H.H. Gregg, which has not been doing well. JetBlue, Level 3 Communication, the internet backbone provider. Pulte Group, Sherwin-Williams, Stanley Black & Decker, Triumph Group, and Under Armour, all. And, of course, Friday. Oh, and then after the bell, Amazon, Electronic Arts, Intel, Microsoft, Skyworks Solutions, Starbucks. So this is going to be a big week. We get to Friday morning, Air Products, Chemicals, Honeywell, Johnson Controls, KCG Holdings, Praxair, Seagate Technologies. Man. And then it really starts ramping up in the next week after that. So, we're going to have a good week this week and an even bigger week on earnings next week. So get ready for some movement. But I think Wednesday is where we're going to see that movement start.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we had somebody in the den ask when Apple was. It is the 31st. And not a real mystery. I didn't have any problem finding it. So I don't think it's hidden. But sometimes you just got to know where to look. Anyway, we're having a good day out here today. We're going to look at some of the stocks that are moving already. Seems like a lot of news out today from the FTC and SEC and some of these others. Still kind of maybe trying to get some things out the door from the last administration. The one that I thought was kind of interesting today is the blocking of the Aetna-Humana deal. And on that deal today, pretty much coming back right to the last gap up, which is on the 10th of November. This did come down, and it's coming down with some. This is basically going to run right back into this up volume day that we had on the 9th, which was 7.9 million shares. We're probably going to get that on the downside today. So somewhere around this area looks like some level of support. When we look at, that was Aetna Humana, HUM. This thing spiked way down. I don't know if that's a bad tick or real. I think it was, because it kind of ran I think they just ran the table out here, but it's come back up a bit more. Still much farther down. But got to 186.25 if that's not a bad tick today. 7 million shares. Again, this went right to these gaps that are on the 9th of November on the gap up. Volume pretty good on this one at about 4 million shares on that November 9th day. But kind of already have, what do we have? 7 million shares already today in that hum. But we'll have to see. I'm not so sure that this is really bad news for either one of the companies, other than the fact that a lot of people were kind of in this. Other stocks of interest today were Qualcomm. A lot of discussions about them fixing the market. And a lot of crocodile tears from Apple today on it, suing them for $1 billion too. And just maybe a good time to kick one of your vendors when he's down. Or do they really believe it? They paid for it. Could have gone with other people's product besides Qualcomm, but they decided not to. Very tough to find out what the truth of the matter is in this one. Everybody, including the Chinese, are saying that Qualcomm has used their size to dominate the market. And maybe the way that they did their licensing was a little bit too much like some of the software vendors like Microsoft in 2000. So there's a little smoke. I don't know if there's real fire in this, but of course right now, kind of a flippy market out here. They are not willing to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Speaking of antitrust issues coming up very shortly, Amazon thinking about getting in or talking about getting into the automobile parts business. And that put the whammy on a few of these stocks like O'Reilly. Volume is not all this bad so far. It got down 263.13 today with 1 million shares. That's about what the volume, 1.2 million shares, is exactly where this gap up at the same price level back to the 15th of November came in. So is it a blowout? Not so far. But I would still suspect that you're going to get to the 250.07 low, which is the November 9th low of 2016. Advanced Auto Parts, AAP. You would think that one of the reasons this auto business has been so resistant to Amazon is if you need a part, you don't really need it in 2 days from now or even tomorrow. You need it in about 5 minutes so you can put your car back on the road. Now, very unclear about what they're going to do. They already sell auto parts already, but I'll have to dig into this a little bit further. This is just on Advanced Auto Parts coming back to its gap up that had monstrous energy. So this actually may be a buying opportunity in the near future on Advanced Auto Parts. I would think you'd want about 157 out here where you have a couple of gaps to take a look at it, though. So I'd still like to see kind of a little bit more of a pullback out here in these stocks. Let's take a quick look at Amazon on that. To me, I would be selling Amazon on this news because guess what? This is yet another chapter out here painting a picture of a company that is literally using its ability to dominate any market to put everyone out of business. And there's nothing like that to get a lot of people screaming at Washington, D.C. to get rid of the big monopoly. And Amazon is all of that. This thing's up a little today, but not a lot of volume. I think that is smart on the side of Amazon traders. I just don't know when that knock is going to come on the door of Jeff Bezos with a little document from the government saying, we think you're infringing on the rights of all these other folks. But I am pretty sure that is going to come. If there's anybody that has come out and, like my dad said, when you're walking on eggs, don't hop. Well, Amazon has hopped in just about every vertical market. But my guess is there are going to be a lot of people lining up from UPS and FedEx to the U.S. Mail to auto parts manufacturers and makers. Going to be a lot of people probably not too happy with Amazon's new foray out here. T-Mobile, TMUS. Some discussions out here. Another high. Not a lot of juice out here to the high side back into the trading range today, so you don't have a lot going on that. Kate Spade up 3%. Kate is the symbol on this one. I think they're like handbags and that stuff. This thing's coming up to resistance levels, but really didn't back off very far from its December 30th high. Back up today, volume picking up a tiny bit. My guess, though, is that you want to look at this thing on the August 23rd high, which is $19.87. What else do we have here? Yahoo, bunch of Yahoos getting sued because they didn't probably say what they should about data breaches when they knew they had them. This one's, again, probably all about Alibaba, and so that doesn't mean much in the way of Alibaba. It's up a little bit. If you were looking for a place to short this one, you want to see very light volume at about 99. My guess, though, is this thing's probably going to go about halfway up into this candle of the 2nd of November. That one had 37 million shares. That was a lot of volume down. So that gets you to about 101, maybe 102. If you were thinking about shorting this one, that's where it would be. The energy is actually okay. It didn't stand out to me right now as any kind of short. Before the bell, we had news on Halliburton. Halliburton is off 3% now. This is giving you a little bit of an abandoned baby, a shooting star, whatever you want to call it. Just hanging out there without its buddies is the 20th little spike out here on 14 million shares in Halliburton. We need to see the next couple of days, but this may be a fairly decent abandoned baby signal in Halliburton. We'll be back in.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're going to go through some other stocks fairly quickly. We'll look at the 52-week highs out here. Alcoa, nice little pop up here. Not much volume. Apple, which we already said will have earnings the 31st up here with a nice little 52-week high, but not holding it. About half the volume. Adobe, up through its previous high. Does have the goods. It's got about 1 million more shares than when we go back to the last high around this October 24th that had 2 million shares. You got 3 already. I think that 3 was on Friday. 1.8 million shares. So you're going to get the 2 million shares in that too. AMAT, another one up here. Volume is pretty much matching the previous highs. So we'll keep an eye on that. Probably a little light for me. I wouldn't be looking for a lot more in that. BHP Pilton, another 52-week high, playing around this $36 area today. BNCN, which is BNC Bank Corp, a nice little pop to the upside without the, well, it's got the goods. Got huge volume in that, although it's not holding the highs very well. Checkpoint, another one up here with a nice little high at 98.25 today. Volume, gapped up. It's probably going to pull back around 94. CLVS, which is Clovis Oncology, back up into this gap that goes back a ways. When this thing disappointed, came down on some, 30.6 million shares back on the 16th of November. This thing is finally starting to come back up into this range. So, and that's of 2015, by the way, at November 16th. So you've got the fairly large overhead in Clovis Oncology, but it's finally making its way back into that gap. Look for it to fill about half of it. CMCSA, a nice little pop to the high side here. CNHI, which is a CNH Industrial, not quite back up to its high, but fairly close to July 10th of 2015. And then we have, of course, Deere & Company, again, almost every other day occurrence of a 52-week high. GNTX, which is Dentex, another one that's been on a roll since this 1606 low on November 9th. Some fairly decent juice on a handful of the days and nice candles. Google, 52-week high. Again, you want to start looking at the volume out here. The last time we were up was October 28th, had about 4.4 million shares. Kind of light on this one, 1.5 million shares, but pretty close to holding it and going into earnings. GWW, which is WW Granger Incorporated, if you've never been in one of these. This is kind of like an industrial supply house for businesses. If you go in there, you can find just about anything. If you can need to put a building together, to put an office together, and do just about anything. If they don't sell it, you probably don't need it. WW Granger. That's what I always thought their ad should read. Anyway, 52-week high back up against and back into the high of May 13th, 2015. So doing pretty good. The HD, the Home Depot, this thing has come back up. Now, this one already had some decent volume into the highs, already 7 million shares. Today, 5 million shares. But that's already matching the August 2nd, 2016 high. And if we look back a little bit further, this is certainly making higher highs. IBM, of course, Friday surprised a lot of people on mediocre earnings, probably just far too many shorts in it, but ticked up a little higher again to add another 52-week high in that. Lam Research just continuing to move higher. When we Altria Group, another one up here, light volume a little bit. Still got a little ways to go out here, 4.2 million shares, but you want to see about 10 million shares. You kind of had it on the way up, but it's kind of fading into this July 15th, 2016 high. PPT is a nice gap up with energy out here. You want to look at that one, and I need to look at that one. Wait for the pullback if this is something that you really want. Let's take a look here. Putnam Premier Income Trust. I don't know what that is, but it gapped up on a day where nothing happened, which is always interesting. Further research is necessary. Reynolds American, another aluminum stock up here at highs. A little tick higher, not a lot of juice, though. Rio Tinto, making another 52-week high, almost into this May 11th, 2015 high that had 5 million shares. and you had some juice up into this one already with 10 million shares. So I'm going to say your next goal is that February 20th, 2015 high at 45.15. Which is a Sprint Corporation, another 52-week high today. Sanchez Energy, and a little pop back up into this one. Certainly looks like it's going into those high 15s, low 16 highs from a couple of years ago. Skyworks Solution continuing on from its huge win and earnings call on Friday morning, or actually Thursday night. Friday morning, nice move. Huge volume, a little bit less, but you're getting back up. Looks to me like there's enough juice to get into the September 19th, 2015 high at $90.81. Continues with the thought that Apple's iPhone will at least be okay for this new version 8. T-Mobile, we talked about this one a little bit earlier. People kind of flogging it as a takeover candidate today. It pulled back into its trading range. Tenaris is also another one like that. TS is a symbol. Kind of moved up higher in the morning. It's kind of faded off here, but another 52-week high. TSU got a lot of road ahead of it. Tim Participes, TSU, up against its previous November 1st high of 2016 that had 2.25 million shares. Into that today with 1.3 million shares. Even one Friday, 1.6 million shares. So this one's going to be light out here. UNVR, which is Univar, just a nice move all the way back up from the February 11th, 2016 low. Vail, another 52-week high. Now, this one's back into the gap. So we probably want to look at just a little bit more about what this gap is and where it goes to. This thing gapped down on the 27th of October, 2014 with 42 million shares. And as we come back up, 25 million shares today. So we're probably getting back into a supply line if anybody held it through all this time. But probably easy money over in that trade already anyway. XXIA, nice little spike up here to the 52-week high, gave it mostly back, and another one with a ZX. We'll look at the 52-week lows. Not a lot of variance in that one, 52 weeks high. Pretty much the standard and usual suspects. Anthera Pharmaceuticals, this thing looks like it's headed to the double zeros. Gilead Science, this is back to a 52-week low, but back to a gap where it actually had some decent energy and support, but that goes back into the April of 2014. At least you can say the energy from the April 26th high was a little less than the way back up here, but probably getting somewhere close to support in it. We've got lots and lots and lots of stocks to go through before the end of the day. Please stay with us.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we'll continue on. Other 52 weeks lows. We were talking about Gilead when we went off to the commercial break. HIMAX. HIMX, again, down. This kind of looking kind of interesting, finally. Wish the energy off the 1095 high that we recently had on September 23rd was less, so I can't buy it because it came down on too much energy, but I will watch it for it to possibly go sideways and make a bottom. Merrimack Pharmaceuticals, another 52-week low. Nielsen, again, this thing just continues to have a rolling auction on the way down. See if there's anything else out here. Plug Power, a perennial $1 stock. If there's anything else in that. Prego, the pharma company, looks like it continues to break down here on lighter volume, though. I'd watch for a close back above maybe $80. See if a bottom has finally come back in on that one. Teva Pharmaceuticals, again, another one that's gone straight down. No sign of a bottom yet, 32.11 for the low today. Target, of course, horrible things announcement, but filling this gap that goes back all the way to, what is it, the 19th of 2014. So you finally have that gap filled, and you want to keep an eye on it. That gap had a lot of volume. It came up on 25.6 million shares. And, you know, you got the best day you had on the way down here was about 19 million shares. So not a bad pullback to what should be support on target. But again, too much energy on the way down for me. And that means normally you have to wait for the thing to go sideways for a way. We talked about Under Armour having earnings coming out fairly soon. This thing just continues to kind of come down on no volume whatsoever. A lot of people short stock. I would not be surprised to see this one gap up and run back up to about $35, where resistance would be XN in Extron Corporation. This thing's just bouncing around $22. So we'll go to some other stocks of interest. What is it? Percent advancers. Take a quick look. For the advancers out here at around noon, it was First Majestic Silver, CARA, which is Cara Therapeutics, not a big move in that one. CDE, which is Coeur d'Alene Mining, Dries. This one, you know, talk about nut ball stock. This thing went to $102 on November 15th. It's come back down, done nothing. And this thing is reverse split 4 or 5 times. Well, guess what? They're coming out with yet another reverse split. I didn't even know that they would let them do that much. What else is going on out here? Golden Ocean Group. Don't know much about this one, but it looks like it could be getting some legs underneath it. Hecla Mining, nice pop today. No volume, though, so far. We talked about Kate Spade. Momo, nice move out here today. Certainly some decent volume compared to the last 4 or 5 days, but really going back into this huge reversal from the 8th of November that came down on 13 million shares. When we look at S, which is Sprint Corporation, a lot of discussion again about them buying people out, probably T-Mobile. Unclear if that's actually anything, but a little tick higher, not the volume that you would like to see, though, again, on a percentage advancer. SBGL, which is Sibian Gold, SBGL. Back up to this little gap it had on the way back down. That gap didn't really have a lot of energy, but you don't have that much either today. And TGH, Textainer Group Holding Company. Nice move on this one. Never has a lot of volume, but breaking the previous volume by about half the volume today. So not very exciting, and you're really going back into this disappointment day of August 9th when it came down with 1.5 million shares. You're basically into it with 600,000 shares today. Vail, we talked about that one already, and Waters Corporation, which is up, and a nice little pop out here and some decent volume. Again, you got a double gap that's still open in these stocks. I'm seeing, I think it was mid-fall that these just started all running for these double gaps. Well, this one looks like it's headed for this double gap at about $150. And the first gap started on the 26th of July with 1.5 million shares. You gap back through that on 3.2 million shares on the 25th of October. Now you're probably going to come right back up to that 150 level, which is about midway into both of those. If you're looking for some kind of ABC to develop, that would be where you would put it if you think housing is moving down and volume continues light back up into that gap. What else we got out here? You can call me at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. So, what did I want to look at here? Some of my own scans. We'll look at some of the other stuff I've been looking at for a while here. Agilent Technologies. This thing has been bouncing off this gap down. It has a double gap, but that takes you to $54, which suggests that this one, when it's done, will have gone up here and filled almost all of this huge gap down back to the 3rd of November 2014. So some of these gaps do look like they're going to get filled here from the way back down. IDRA, which is Adira Pharmaceuticals. This one, for a penny stock, may be interesting. Volume has kind of come back down here on light volume. It's going to need a little bit more consolidation, though, before it could be a candidate. Again, filling some of these gaps on the way down is McKesson, MCK. This came down like a rocket on the 28th of October with 28.2 million shares. We're back into it with 3 million shares. So you really have to be extra careful with McKesson. But I still think 152.50 is possible. Somebody was saying something in the den about the markets not moving. I mean, I think I brought it up at the beginning of the show. I just don't put a lot of effort into looking at options rollover the 2 days after options. It's normally one of two things. They either push the market up, and then the next day they push the market down, and then Wednesday we go back to the real direction of the market, or they push it down, and then the next day they push it up. And that's just so that they can get in and out of their positions that were hedges in the equity side of their position, and so that they can put on new options and sometimes catch a few suckers on the wrong side of the move. But this tends to be, just go back and look at every third Friday and look at the volatility on the Monday and Tuesday after. It is something that I think has a good causal connection. It is something that easily can be tested. Just look at the volatility coming in Monday, Tuesday after every monthly options move, and you normally get kind of a sideways action. We'll be back after this short timeout.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Our friend Andy Heck has a bunch of new articles out on Seeking Alpha, one about natural gas that you might like, and history tells us silver will lead. Might be interested in, for you gold bugs and silver bugs. Always interesting reading from Andy. Of course, he has his show on 5 o'clock. And I don't know if there's anything else to say out here. We were talking about Pennsylvania real estate trust. A few of these stocks coming back down with light volume. This is a pattern I like. It's not a sector I like, but PEI certainly is a nice looking pattern. I'm not exactly sure why this pattern would develop, but interesting nonetheless. TXMD, Therapeutics MD, this one's come back to its gap and kind of nice light volume in it. Walmart, I wanted to see how this thing did. It, of course, gapped up on earnings. It tried to come back after that gap up from May 19th last year. It had 35 million shares, came into it with 9.1 million shares, came back into it now today with 4.5 million shares. I would have liked, again, to see the energy off the December 14th high come back in a little lighter volume. But, this thing maybe at about 64.50, maybe $65. There's a double gap in that. I think that's kind of where this is going to. Just need to see the volume continue to be light. In Extron Corporation, XON, still coming back down through its May 13th low. I suspect, though, that we're going to continue to see this thing move down, but it continues to like volume. 1852, the January 14th, 2016 low, might be a very interesting buy on that one. In the end, we'll take a quick look at the FANGs. Microsoft, what's it doing? Not a whole lot. This we've been talking about how narrow the trading range in this one has been. Pretty good sign of either accumulation or distribution. Normally, if it's at highs, it's distribution. Maybe they're a little ahead of themselves. I kind of thought that they were on last earnings. So I would not be surprised to see on their earnings if they pull back. I'm not saying the wheels fall off or that I would short it, but it just seems like maybe they're kind of like the financials, just a little bit ahead of each other. This long, narrow move that goes back to literally the 29th of December is not good news normally for a stock. You want a little bit of up and back, but it just has gone in this extremely narrow range. Connotes that a lot of times there's an order just over this price range, and the stock goes up during the day. The orders come in, it comes back down. It just never has the juice to really blow through and eat up that order that's sitting on the high side of the stock. Did we look at, we said Google, another 52-week high. Was there anything else out there? Facebook, take a quick look at that. I saw it was back up here. Looks to me like it's going to try to test the 133.50 high one more time, that October 25th high. But if there is a stock setting up for a high, the energy on this one since the November 14th low has been poor. It's not just been kind of average. It's been poor. You're up about 3/4, maybe even 7/8 of the way back up to the previous high, and you just don't have any juice whatsoever. Another day up today. That does not mean that you won't test the 133.50, but I'm not seeing any kind of volume that says Facebook is ready for some kind of huge run to the upside either. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. See you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Hang on for 2 hours of Tom O'Brien, and of course in the 4 o'clock hour, many earnings announcements. See you tomorrow.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.